Okay, we're back with another Age of Mythology Retold game. I am in the right scene, so we're all good. It is Kavoth in the blue. He's playing Poseidon. We've had a request for a Poseidon game, so here it is. It's got probably one of the best players there is, so playing as the Poseidon. And then we have El Matador, or Matty, as he seems to be called now, as the Frey. And the map's Mirage. It's not a map we see in the ranked pool, but I actually really like it. So the gimmick of this map is it's backfish, and it's fish that's very hard to kind of raid. If you want to raid this fish, then what you need to do is come down here if you're El Matador, if you're Matty, whoever, put a dock down here, and then build some boats to come and actually attack these fish. Or if you're in the heroic age, you get the free unit to come, and that's probably the best time to maybe attack this. But you've got to put so much effort into attacking it. You can't just use your first dock to go for these. So what ends up happening is you just get extra food. Now, civilizations that like extra food, obviously Norse likes extra food because they like to be aggressive. Frey, maybe not as much as the others. And then Poseidon obviously likes being aggressive as well. So anything that can boost up his food is going to be very, very nice. And I assume we're just going to see... How many fish do you actually get? Why can I not highlight these? Is it just 9? Is that it? Is that just 3 there? So it looks like there's just 9. Which is nice. It's going to help. I think they're about half a villager's worth. So you're going to end up with about 5 villagers extra, basically. And then when you can get your extra upgrades, it ends up being a lot more, and very, 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 very nice to get the extra food in. There's also a decent amount of hunt on this map, which is pretty wild. I think this would be an interesting addition to the ranked pool. We can also see that the sides here, it's very long and thin map. It's quite hard to come around the sides. Everything in the middle is quite close together. And it's going to be an interesting one to watch. So let's have a look at some relics, see if they're going to make any difference. Myth units are cheaper. It's going to be very, very nice for either player. Absolutely love that relic. This one that's right in the corner that might not get spotted, to be honest, is the group of monkeys that come and help out. They're very, very, very nice. Looks like the scouts kind of bumping heads. Nothing much really going on. 9 cauldrons, which is Hetyroi. So things that come from the fortress have extra armor. So this is nice for El Matador if he's going to want to go for Huskarls, if he needs that in this matchup later on. And then Demeter's Throne, which is it's just one of those relics. It's a relic. It gets you extra favor. The black bars really throw me off. Yeah, it's weird, to be honest. It kind of makes sense that this is how they would lay it out if it wants to be long and thin, but maybe I just prefer it to just be pinched in. I don't know. Maybe it'd look a bit weird. I don't know the best way to kind of do it from a UI perspective. But Kavoth heading up to the next stage very, very soon. No, he's not. He's got the food, but didn't actually have the temple. So he's going to wait for this temple to go up, then go. I don't think you really get much from advancing really fast on this map, unless you want to go for a second town center. So this was a map that we saw in early tournaments. Was it early tournaments for Retold, or was it late tournaments for the original game? I can't actually remember, to be honest. But there was an interesting decision of, do you go for a second town center, or do you go for some kind of rush with rushing down the boats, or do you go for some kind of timing attack? I mean, that's obviously the 3 options, but nobody knew what it was Red Bull. Thank you, Kavoth. So that was the first tournament for Retold. So it was interesting that, I mean, players didn't really know what to do when Retold came out anyway, because the game was completely different. So we'll see if anything has changed. These guys played quite a few games on this map, so whether or not they're just testing it out to see what's possible or not. See, Theseus is going to come out. He's going to try and find this relic, which is the Hetyroi relic. Probably not going to be useful for him, but it's useful to take away from the opponent, to be honest. Don't want to be dealing with those Huskarls with extra bonus stats. Not something you really want to be looking at. There's some nice walling up to make your base a little bit more defensive. We have a back gold mine, so it's going to be very hard to raid El Matador with this back gold mine. It's got a watchtower on it. It's got a tree line here. You can easily put a wall up. So Poseidon is going to struggle to just do the general Poseidon things. And El Matador getting up his wall as well. So wants to play this one very defensive, as Freys kind of want to do in general. And we do see that rushed per scene. So what's the difference? So it's 0.55. Oh, decided to go for something else instead. So going for the town center. Yep, going for the town center first absolutely makes sense to get that one before the Persine comes in, and then we will see exactly what difference that one makes. And Freya coming in for El Mastor. That's interesting because he did pre-queue Ula there and then deciding to go for Freya. So what's the difference between going for either of these? So Ula's the more defensive pick. He's the one where if you want to get your Huskarls out early, then he's a good one. Maybe he had his eyes on this relic down here. Then when he saw it got pinched, decided to go through Freya instead. But one of the biggest differences, you get an aggressive myth unit right off the bat that can deal with these centaurs rather than the Draugr that probably wins a 1v1 against the centaur if they both stand and fight, but the centaur's much, much faster. And I think that centaur is potentially going to go down, sees that the Theseus is there, and then decides to run away. So getting a lot of value from it. Second town center is coming up. It does have this back hunt here that's going to be very hard to raid. And El Mastor says, okay, if you're getting a back town center, he hasn't actually, he has. If you're getting a back town center, I'm going to get this forward one. And happy days there. Oh, we can see what the difference is now. So 0.55 goes up to 0.83. Okay, that's an absolute massive upgrade. So it's almost making it 1 villager's worth. So you're probably getting about 7 villagers worth of fishing ships right there. Nice bit of just annoyance of this Valkyrie. This is what Freya gives you over Ula there. Also, if you want to go into those cavalry units, if you want to be playing Poseidon at his own game, basically, and going cav versus cav, then you're really going to need Freya in that respect. And Freya is just having a look about. And this map has turned out to be very defensive, which is pretty wild, to be honest. Don't know if anyone expects this map to be defensive, but that's what both players are doing. Great Hall coming down. So yeah, I think this is going to be some kind of cav strat is what I expect. Potentially going up to the heroic age, to be honest, looking at these resources. The scout of Kavoth is going to see this villager. Where's this villager going? Going over to this gold mine. Unfortunately for El Massador, I mean, it didn't matter because he didn't grab that town center. But these back giraffes, they're quite far away, but they are in the middle of nowhere. If you were to hunt these with nobody around, it takes so long to get to safety. Whereas Kavoth's one is so much easier. Just to walk over here, be absolutely fine. Moving on to Kavoth's side, how many stables has he gone for? He's gone for 2 stables, getting out some Hippias to defend against the raid that's coming in. Pulls off the gold mine very, very quickly. Also getting an extra stable up. We'll be able to pull this Hippias back if he chooses to. Unfortunately, didn't get that one. And El Massador gets 1 kill and decides that was good enough value for him. Also just trying to hit as he goes out. The Hippias can eventually heal up with their Poseidon upgrade though, so you do have to worry about trading damage like that. Trading the hero damage, they have no way to heal up, so you definitely want to go for that one. Or if he can just swing around to get the centaur would also be a nice play. Kavoth wins out that little trade there. Little trade for 1 Hippias for 2 hearses. The hearses get so much more value. If the hearses stay alive, they're gaining favor this whole time, so you definitely want those. And then we'd have the Valkyrie to heal up the hearser side, so both get a bit of healing. I assume all eco upgrades are in for both players. Yeah, pretty standard. And now they're just going to try and raid each other. It's a pretty wild hill here. I don't think there's hill damage, is there? Like, not hill damage. What do you call it? Like, damage from a hill. Oh my god, I don't even know what they call it. But anyway, if you're on the top of the hill, you do more damage than to things down the hill. Nice raid coming through from Kavoth, getting some good value out of this 19 HP centaur. Didn't expect him to get any more, but 2 kills there, 3 kills, potentially a 4th one. Tries to get the 4th one, but the Valkyries are in, and that's why you want to keep these hearses alive. The more hearses you have, the more Valkyries you get. The Stout, Sigurdur the Stout. I expect the Valkyrie upgrade to come in at some point. Survival equipment is a nice choice against the heavy raids, and also the Herdmen. Herdmen shred these guys, absolutely shred them. Trying to get a nice ghost building, nice quick wall up, couldn't manage it, but still getting some on the retreat path. While this is going on, Dionysus coming through for the Poseidon player. Trying to finish off these long houses. It was half built, so you can probably snipe about 50 woods worth over there. But the Herdmen, you do really have to be worried about them. And tries to capitalize on those horses. But the pathing of the horses is so, so good. Does manage to take out 2, though. So Kavoth, he did manage to snipe 3 villagers, but has lost quite a few units there. So El Matador's timing is now. He isn't going up to the heroic age. He's got more resources to spend on units, and he's taken some units out also. But I mean, this centaur is still getting max value on his 15 HP. The hearses, they're not being microed properly onto those centaurs, and the herdmen are just going to go down so quickly. Nice control of those centaurs, though, to sit them right at the back to make sure that they can't get attacked. It's like someone is trying to get around the side to snipe them. He is trying. See if Kavoth is on top of that micro, and he is. Sees him straight away and runs away. And this is what makes centaurs so strong. If you have somebody that can micro away from when they're being attacked by the one unit that can really deal with them, it's so tough. Spirited Charge coming in also, which speeds up the centaurs to be even faster and make them very difficult. Going after those herdmen and Thracian horses pre-queued. When he gets the favor in, that will make those hippies have lifesteal, which makes them very difficult to deal with, even more difficult to deal with than it is already. Do we see a fortress coming up? I assume that was fortress attempt, but unfortunately must have spent the wood resources somewhere else. Probably got his upgrade here. No, but maybe just built an extra couple of buildings that he didn't mean to. We'll get a fortress up over here though. No harm done, just leaving it a couple more seconds. Trying to snipe some longhouses. And it looks like El Matador is just sitting in the classical age. He wants to get a full population to deal with a potential push that's coming through. Some sort of bronze idea is probably going to be the choice. Bronze has had a slight nerf, where it is now 35 seconds, if I do recall right. I need to put the tooltip back on. I keep saying that, but never do. Anyways, 5 seconds less. 5 seconds less than it was. The buildings here for El Matador are put in quite a nice position where it does let the Hippias come in, but then he could get a potential surround around the side. It could also put some good places for his throwing axemen. Looks like Kavoth does see that, and he wants to go for some raids potentially, so splits his Hippias off, trying to go after this wooden wall. Running around here. While he's also doing that, he's getting out a Petropolis to siege down, getting 2 Petropolis and a gear. Now El Matador's almost at full population, seeing that the raids are happening, going, I'm going to need my heroic age in. Pretty sharpish, going through A gear. A gear puts a shutdown to a bronze all-in push, so it's definitely a great counter to that. It's kind of like Frost, or like a mini lightning storm. It is a wild god power. It's probably the strongest heroic age god power in the game, in my opinion. Even better than flaming weapons. So good. Probably the best heroic age god in the whole game, to be honest. A gear. While this little distraction's going on, Kavoth is managing to siege down El Matador's town center. Does have some good units here to deal with that. Enough heroes to deal with the Hydras and the 8 HP centaur. Looks like somebody's hit it once. Even just get the town center on that. And a nice boar coming through. Boar does force out the ceasefire. He's just going to spin that one around. Probably wanted to wait for his A gear there to get full value from it, but did force it out. Maybe just knowing that would force a ceasefire. And Kavoth goes, okay, well, I'm just going to come up here and get a huge raid off. This is going to be massive in 12 seconds. Needs to get some units over there. Probably is going to drop his Tempest right on this location, you would imagine. Trying to get the surround off anyway. And the units, the villagers are running away. Tempest, is it going to be used? You'd expect it to. Can the units run away in time, though? That is the question. Does force it out. Does have the Valkyrie to chase these guys down. But the issue is, it's the more it hits you, the slower you get. So the fast units can run away. Kind of not the biggest value Tempest, but definitely had to use it in that situation. So don't blame him at all. Hydra, already 3 heads. But against the Valkyries, take that one down super quick. And the Hippias are trying to get out. Do we not see the siege weapons? The siege weapons did run away while that was happening. It's a shame because they could have got some good value from it. Maybe there was a little raid on those siege weapons that we didn't see. But El Matador looks like he's holding for the time being. The sheer amount of Hippias only challenge is definitely coming in. And now we see the bronze. And there's not much to do. You could forest fire this if you want to. It kind of leaves you open though. I don't really like it, but you kind of need to try something because the bronze units, look how much armor they have. It's so tough to deal with them. While this is going on, the siege is coming through for the town center, and there's just so many more units here for Kavoth. They're all called Hippias. They all have double upgrades. They're all heavy. It's just so tough to deal with. So you see the forest fire, kind of last-ditch effort to try and defend this position. You've got to go for it. All the Frey upgrades coming in now. Something Heroic Age Frey knows all about. But I think Kavoth is going to take this position over, and Elmastor just needs to either sack it or he needs to run away. Otherwise, he's going to lose all of his units here. He's also getting raided on this top side. Had to convert some of the villagers over to Berserks to let that happen. Is also getting a raid down this side. Absolutely huge. Does mean that the Throwing Axemen are winning this main fight, though. But, I mean, the villagers are just being attacked everywhere. Only a couple of herdmen here. 3 herdmen to deal with this. Probably enough to deal with what's left. But, I mean, lost so many villagers. Also getting a 3rd town center while this is all going on. Just so far ahead. Actually managing to raid, and also thanks to the conversions also coming up here. He's going to have to convert more over to deal with these. They're all very low HP. Maybe deciding not to convert them. Probably a good idea. Just attack move. They are heavy, though, and they do get the lifesteal. Oof. And this is how to play Poseidon for anyone that doesn't know. The cavalry they be pretty good. They'd be pretty good. You see him lifestealing up. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Also just has it's just healing anyway. Healing from the Poseidon upgrade. Elmastor has managed to get more military population out, though, which is pretty wild. But the issue is that he's kind of building a lot of these Throwing Axemen. Because they are good damage dealers, especially when you're defending. But in situations like this, they really don't cut it. You need more herdmen. Even some Jarls coming out, which is what's forcing the Prodromus out from the Greek player. Are there more armory upgrades here? There's bronze armor on this side. And yeah, maybe one less armory upgrade from Kavoth. So it looks like Elmastor is managing to hold. Petropolis trying to take out the Throwing Axemen. They do decent against them. Better than nothing, for sure. But gold over here. 3rd town center secured. It's going to be very, very tough. He's managing to get his back town center. So if he can defend this position, it's not over yet. Although he is down 50 villagers, which is pretty wild. If he can manage to potentially, I mean, this army is scary. The amount of herdmen here, they're 7.3 damage. Which is actually quite a lot anyway, with the ×4 multiplier. He's definitely got the right army comp now. It's taken a while. Plus, the 4 rock giants. Rock giants have ridiculous value. So some villagers converted to deal with this gold mine, wanting to move on to that gold mine. There's about half here. Just started on this side, but Kavoth is sieging this side down, so we'll eventually go for that one. So a gold starve looking likely, sending a decent amount of Hippias over here to deal with these guys, and these guys. Just trying to put a stop to losing these, even getting a watchtower up, which I love that play. So there's going to be 4 gathering from gold here. I don't think that's. I mean, I don't think Kavoth knows about that, but it's not something that's really gonna hurt him at all. If there was more units over there gathering, then it would absolutely make a difference. But not much siege coming underneath his fortress here. Needs to get out those rock giants. Needs to wait for them to come in so they can start eating those buildings. Ooh. The raids are coming in again, forcing all the units back. And Elmastor is just in such a tough position right now. I mean, where can he even come back into this one? Probably needs to get a fortress up. He absolutely is. Getting a hill fort up on this gold mine is number 1. There's already a Petropolis out. Burgreasy is managing to taunt in some. Jarl's chasing them down. The raids are just absolutely relentless. is going to spot these four gatherers as well. The poor guys, they're trying. Jarl's tank for absolute days, by the way. 257 HP. Are these guys actually good? Not like we see them built very much, but I feel like this patch, I've seen them built more. In games that I've watched, even games that I've played, I've seen more people building Jarls, even without going through the upgrade. So, not that Elmast already has the choice, but going through Njord to get those get this Ring Giver upgrade and the other one, the tier upgrade. Or Balder upgrade, sorry. They are eating the fortress very nicely. And Elmaster will be able to push this position. The issue is that this isn't where anything's been gathered from. This is just where Kvoth was doing his big siege attack. Whereas all the gold mines for Kvoth are all on this side. They're all protected by fortresses, by towers. But is managing to push back. And this is tough to deal with. What do you need to deal with this? You need Hephaestus. Kvoth knows that, so he's gone, okay, I'm going to spend 75 of my 200 and something favor on a ceasefire to wait that 30 seconds to now get my Polyphemus out. Probably the best myth unit for dealing with, hero unit for dealing with this. Any of the Greek Mythic Age hero units are the choice. Bellerophon, Perseus, or the big Cyclops boy that we are going to see. The hill fort creep coming in. Maybe munching on those buildings. The Burgerese are scary. Six of these guys. Here he is, getting pre-queued. Polyphemus getting his upgrades as well. And Kvoth actually, he just kind of spammed up all of these 11 stables just so that he can just run back, be absolutely fine. The Poseidon, sieging the Poseidon takes a while because you've got to deal with all these militias. It's very, very annoying. Also, using all those specials is the Burgerese. There's another bronze to come through. Bronze number 2, trying to defend this one. He is at full population, but without the fortified town centers, so not quite at the 235 that he could be. But bronze is so strong. Polyphemus is here to deal with probably the only troublesome units that the red player has. Just needs to be targeted onto those guys. Just hit your all hero button and get the Burgerese down. And that is it. All myth units down except for this guy down here. Looks like there's one lad left, but he's just snacking on a stable over here. And the bronze is enough to push back. Only 5 seconds left, but it did its job. Polyphemus, he's also good against buildings, by the way. He's just good. Maybe he's a bit slow, but that's the one thing that isn't going for him. Everything else, 1,000 HP, all the armors, 43 damage per hit, and 26 crush damage. That was a really nice game from Kvoth, showing how good the Poseidon raids are, to be honest. Also the big siege push. Elmastor stayed in this game longer than I thought he probably should have, to be honest. He made this a lot closer than I thought it would be. So very, very well played. And I actually like this map. I think this is